Hi, I'm Ryan, and today I'm learning to make an iPad cabinet mount. I thought it would be really convenient to have a permanent iPad mounted in the kitchen for recipes, shopping lists, or even to watch a movie while you cook. The first thing I did was measure my iPad. I bought a very inexpensive TV mount from Amazon.com. I'll put the link in the description below. And the idea was to use that to mount the frame I was going to build for the iPad. So I marked the 7.5 inches that I determined that my iPad was, and I was going to cut a slot through that wood that I thought I could slide the iPad through. Camera check. Cut the slot in the wood, I got to use my brand new router table, so I was pretty excited about that. And all I know about using router tables is what I learned online, so thanks Steve Ramsey, I'm sure, and some other woodworking people. Here's what the wood looked like after one pass. So I had to go back to the router table, and this was pretty easy. I didn't know they did this, but you can actually raise the bit of the router from the top of the table, so that made it super easy to go ahead and adjust that and do multiple passes. Obviously that wood is way too wide to cut a slot all the way through, so I trimmed it down at the table saw. After a few more passes at the router table, I was able to get the slot cut all the way through that piece of wood there. And here's what it looked like. Unfortunately, the iPad didn't slide through very easily, so I had to come up with a new idea. The new plan just involved cutting one end off, and then I would glue that to a backer board, and then the iPad would just slide between the backer board and this piece I'm making here. Next, I cut out 3 pieces that I would use for the other 3 sides of the frame. And I just cut those to random lengths until I routed them out, and then I would have cut them to the appropriate length. After researching a little bit online, I figured out how to cut a rabbet with the new router table I got, and I realized that you could separate the black part of the fence there. That way you could push it up and it could be surrounding the bit itself. Boom, perfect. At this point I was pretty excited. Next, I laid everything out so I could get a visual on what it was going to look like. At this point, I went ahead and marked where I needed to cut my boards as well. Here comes the miter shot. So I moved the kitchen. It's getting super cold out there. For the backer board, I used a 1/2 inch piece of plywood. And here I used my frame to mark out where I needed to cut my plywood for the backer board. Another camera check. Quick trip outside to cut the backer board down to size, and I'm going back inside. Burrito! Right, I'm laying everything out. Everything looks pretty good. I'm ready to glue it up. Once again, I'm working inside to glue this up. It's pretty self-explanatory on how you do it. You just put the glue on there, stick it to the backer board, and then clamp it on. So I'm going to fast forward through this part. After putting everything together, the wife decides it'll look better if I round over the edges, so I give that a go. Sand and sand and sand and sand and sand and sand and sand. Everything's looking good. After I'm done sanding, I wipe everything down with a wet cloth to get all that sawdust off. Now it's time for some painting, 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 painting. I'm a painting. I love painting. It's so fun painting. I decided to go with white because that's the color of the iPad I'm using, and I think it'll look good like that. All that's left to do is attach the hardware and mount it on the cabinet and see if we like the way it looks. What are you making?
Chocolate guava.
Is it going to taste delicious?
It's going to taste in your tummy.
It's going to taste what?
Like your tummy.
It's going to taste like my tummy?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means yourself. You. Hog.
Did somebody just fart?
I think that was Kinsey.
Yeah.
I really like the way this project turned out, and I think we'll use it for years to come. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. If you would like, click one of the pics to check out my other videos.